3, 2, 1.
Derive recently attended the 2026 Robowars Sportsman Skirmish in Ipswich, testing the changes brought about by the complete rebuild covered in the last video. This one covers my fights as well as interviews with some builders that were willing to chat about their machines, which will be scattered throughout the video. I've mounted a camera to the robot for some of the fights, so we should get footage from the machine's perspective. Aside from content, this was very handy to see details and failures I'd otherwise have missed. The purpose of the event, apart from the robots battling it out, is to put on a show for the paying crowd as part of World Science Festival. I've done my best to edit out the music and sound effects that were playing over fights, but if you hear a Wilhelm scream, just know that wasn't an artistic choice of mine. I will work the footage to the best of my abilities. The first step at any event is to get through safety checks. Following this, Derive will get 6 round-robin fights. This tournament won't have a winner, but the top few robots should get to compete in the finals later in the year. Cerebral Boar is Derive's opponent to open the event. They'll be trying to cut up the top of my robot, so Derive is outfitted with its new top armor configuration. It's pretty much impermeable with 6mm mild steel and a good air gap at the cost of leaving the drivetrain exposed.
So Derive is a lifter-stacker style robot. James, do you want to tell us a little bit about Derive?
Derive is based on my first ever featherweight actually. It's come a long way in 2 years. So it's got a lot of drive power, got long forks to control its opponent. It's really, really fast, but there's lots of exposed bits that can get cut, so we'll see how it goes.
3, 2, 1, fight! Cerebral Boar not wasting any time. Derive up and under. That saw blade spinning up. Derive is super fast on the arena. So we have Derive. Oh, flip one. Cerebral Boar cutting itself. Derive. So the challenge with Derive is to pick up the opponent without getting cut too much.
Derive has to watch out for that overhead grab. Oh, Suplexing Cerebral Boar into the wall. Now Cerebral Boar should be able to self-ride, and it's up and over,
using its saw arm to ride itself. Derive coming in again.
Suplexing Cerebral Boar, ramming it into the wall.
Derive is certainly fast and very strong.
Driver can move around on one wheel using that back and forth mechanism to make their way around the arena. But Cerebral Boar not able to get his blade in the right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, out.
And the win goes to Derive!
By removing the side armors, this left the front wheels exposed to ramming against the wall. Theoretically, this shouldn't have been a problem, but a design flaw meant there wasn't much holding them in. These shoulder bolts sit on a counter bore threaded into the frame. These fasteners have a not insignificant relief before the shoulder, which meant there were only 2 or so millimeters of thread actually engaged.
Okay, that took a bit of work. We've now got a nylock nut on every single axle, so we don't need Loctite too. It's a real pain to get in there. I left the space because I had a feeling I might need this. This is one of the cases I kind of figured, in the back of my mind, oh, there's not much thread there, or that axle's probably going to bend. Don't worry about it, it doesn't need a nut. Well, guess what? It needs a nut immediately. So at least we can make that change. Getting it mostly ready for next fight, and obviously won't put the armors on until I know who I'm fighting. I'm here with Aaron. He's going to tell us about how that went on his perspective.
Great fight. Started off okay. Robot was a little twitchy. He still got a tweak still. And then something kind of went wrong with the arm. It started to be a bit lazy on self-riding.
Bit smoky.
And then towards the end, it just wouldn't do it at all. So I don't know if the motor's a bit cooked or there's a clutch in here. I don't know if the clutch is backed off.
Fight 2 will see a very unique opponent in the form of Huntsman. It's a tall, two-wheel drive hammer robot that might prove difficult to get a hold of. Daniel attached a large hoop to assist with self-riding, which adds to the strange aesthetic. I fitted Derive with its standard configuration, trusting the 6mm polycarb would protect the motors from the hatchet. This means the GoPro is set up to record some intimate action. My plan for this fight is to slam Huntsman into the walls and try to break off the hoops, all while avoiding getting the lifter chain or camera sniped by the axe.
3, 2, 1. Derive and slamming him into the wall. Derive is really fast. Huntsman, you have 10 seconds to self-ride. Derive, keeping this show going, not willing to let the count happen. Not supposed to. Just able to show control translation. The hoop is from. Now a skilled driver can wiggle around the arena with just one motor. Start a countdown in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, out.
Investigating the drive problems, if you can hear me over the music. Batteries are, what are they sitting at? It's been charging for like 5 seconds, about 3.8 volts, which is fine. The Vesks wouldn't care. The motors are warm, but they also have no thermistor and they're not overheating. So the only thing that's left is there's a connection problem or the Vesks are shutting down. So I'm going to take the lifter off, talk to the Vesks, see what they say. and then double check every connection, because otherwise, mechanically, I have not seen anything wrong with it. The best kind of problem, isn't it? Utterly unreproducible. You friggin', oh, it's an issue? Turn it on? No problem. Great. Makes me think it's somehow thermal, so I'll see if the vests have thermal limits enabled and just disable them. Change my opponent after the fight. It will give us some info on... It seems like the machine stopped on one side of Drive. You might have some information on that.
So it is actually a rather simple problem. You've got your weapon wedges inside this belt, which has pulled the motor forward, and now the motor pulley is rubbing on the frame.
Oh.
So I just need to loosen those bolts off, reposition the motor, and then we're good to go again.
Good to go. Oh.
You did jam the weapon up exactly the same way at one point in the fight,
Right.
and I noticed that you did it, and I pulled off. I've done it to the drive as well.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
that hook, I designed it with like 3 hours, so I had a feeling it was going to snap.
Oh.
And yeah, it did.
You got to try, obviously.
Yeah, because I don't have the right body shape to be able to self-ride.
These are the 80 amp red brick things.
So that's for the weapon, and I'm using these ones for the drive.
Yeah, right.
So I find RC car controllers have actually got better control for combat robot stuff.
Then AIM-32 type stuff?
So I don't think I'm getting enough torque to self-ride from this speed controller. Even though I've gone through and adjusted everything to maximum torque, I'm still not able to get it.
Yeah, right.
It's with the car controller, I actually get more torque.
And you can self-ride, yeah.
But I need the 2 car controllers for the drive.
Oh,
So I've had to use this one for the weapon, I can't. Yeah.
fair.
So,
Sounds like all easy fixes for the future.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, keen to see it back in the arena when it fights next.
And I've lost a toe.
Oh no, that's the real catastrophe.
Yeah.
There you go.
Starting in this fight, you can really see the improvement in lifter power compared to previous events. I'm running the same motor, ESC and gearbox as always, the only upgrades being different material selections and an added bushing under the main sprocket. The reduction in drag makes the lifter very snappy and capable of a jumping suplex, or whatever you want to call it. With the robot ready to run, our next opponent was selected. Derive will face off against an upgraded Fling King for the 3rd time in its career. This high-pressure gas flipper has been refitted for a much larger number of flips, though the intention is always to try and make it run out of gas by being a perpetual nuisance.
And next up we have possibly the most sought after fight in the competition. We have is a feat. But enough talking, drivers, are you ready? Alright, let's get this fight underway in 3, 2, 1, fight! And across the arena. There's opportunity to grab us from the gun and throw it around the arena.
This fight ended up as a very close judges' decision, with the win going to Fling King. While Derive controlled the majority of the fight with more flips and grabs, the loss of a drive side is very significant damage in a sportsman fight, so I think the outcome was correct.
There you go. Here's the damage. Belt came off, and I don't know why. The tension is in the right spot. The shredded wheel, and I reckon this belt rolled up that edge, the disintegrated wheel, and that's what led to it coming off. Anyway, useless now. We're going to take it off. A viewer.
Hi, I'm Bowen.
Yeah.
From Canada.
Canada.
Yeah,
I didn't know about that. Oh, there you go.
Came from Canada to see
Really?
Robowars. Yeah.
Holy hell, I didn't know that. Well, he's going to get this wheel, so you'll have something to take home with him. Here with Glenn, builder and driver of Fling King. He's going to give us a quick rundown over what makes this machine so cool. I believe it's the only operating gas flipper in the country, is that correct?
Currently, yes. I think there's been older ones, but this is the only one still working at the moment. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. So yeah, this is Fling King. He is currently powered by high pressure air, used in paintballs and things like that. It used to work off CO2, but it used to lose a lot of power as it cooled down. And that's one thing I really wanted to fix. So this time, first time we're using the compressed air, and it's working really good.
That's the compressor, right?
Yeah, that is actually the compressor. So instead of carrying big, sort of this sized CO2 tanks, we just bring this thing and have as many charges as we want, which is really nice.
Sweet.
It's working well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Having some issues with the servo before, if I recall.
We were, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, one of those things that happens at events. Test as many times as you want, and then as soon as the event starts, you have problems.
Yeah.
So if you...
Yeah, I can see it.
Yep, so this little fella down here, it's a 1/4 inch ball valve, and it's a tiny little like ant weight size servo with a 2-to-1 gear drive on it. And the intent is the main valve, it opens incredibly quick, but it shuts very slow. And I'm really trying to stop gas getting lost. So basically we wait until the main valve is shut and then the ball valve will open. So it's a little bit experimental, and I did have problems with it exploding this morning.
Right. A fixed run out, that seems.
They
got stuck a little?
It's functional, but it's very setup sensitive.
Okay.
You got to get it all aligned and get the servo center points right, that sort of thing. So I think it's a little bit off. So it seems like it's mostly working, but I think maybe it went over its maximum travel in our fight and got a bit stuck. So we'll have a look tonight. I'll take it all apart and see how it goes.
The rocker pods, which I've had some people ask about.
Yep. Yeah, they are pretty cool. I'd love to say it's sort of like a super intentional design decision, but given the shell is a big welded piece of hard ox, and the drives kind of just sit out in the middle of it, because on this robot, everything actually bolts to the tops and sides, I guess. The base plate, there's nothing attaching it.
Yeah, we'll see the bottom.
Yeah, as you can see right there. So the whole robot is ready to go with no base plate. The base is just a cover. Yeah. So I really needed to mount the drive pods kind of on these big aluminium sections that bolt in the front. And given that, whether I mounted them solidly or had them pivoting, it wasn't any more work. But I figured maybe it would help with traction and that sort of things. And if you got tilted back a little bit, maybe it would help. Don't know if it does, but yeah, it's there and it works.
Yeah.
Makes the wiring tricky.
Very nice piece of one big machine piece of aluminium, right? For the
so the cylinder base actually has all the valves integrated inside of it. So yeah, it's all billet.
Did that yourself, I assume?
I did. I built this whole setup. I think this is the 5th one I've done now.
Right.
Exactly the same one. Some had issues, and then I think I sold one of them, and then I had to remake it. So yeah. I'm getting pretty adept at doing it now.
Yeah. Oh, very beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Very, very dense machine. I love all the little finicky bits that go into pneumatics, like the servo we saw, the gears, all this valving and the nice electrics.
Yeah, it's ridiculously dense. Not very fun to work on.
Right.
Funnily enough.
But the compressed air made it better?
Early days, we've only had 3 fights with it.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's a lot better. for all sorts of reasons, like filling from the tank, it's very hard in the Queensland heat. Because one tank has to have like a big temperature difference, and in this sort of heat, it's like, what, 30 degrees today? It's very hard to get that temperature difference, and you got to vent gas, blah, blah, blah. It's just so much easier. It's like a bike pump or a car tire inflator. You just plug it in and charge it to the pressure and you're done.
Yeah, sick.
And yeah, I think it also gets just more flips.
Yeah, well, it didn't stop, right? Like, I recall it running out historically.
I don't think I can ever remember a fight when it was CO2 when it didn't like run out of gas. And we haven't run out of gas all day. So
Sick.
I'm pretty happy, yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. This is very insightful, very pretty machine. Well, I'm sure we will have yet more fights in the future.
Reckon. That was a great fight.
That was excellent. That might have been the best I've ever had.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know, I'm here with Jules, 2 robots she's going to tell us about quickly. 2 pretty old machines, I understand.
Very old. Yep, we think Banana Bender's probably about 10 years old now. Some things are the same. We've got some new things, but after the last comp, these all shattered inside, so we had to replace all the comps inside there. So,
What about this second machine? A popular one with the kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to say, this is Miles's invention, really,
Right.
and it had to be an arse.
Right. Did it.
Otherwise known for the children, the bum,
Right.
or the marshal.
Is that a winch gearbox I see?
Simple, yeah,
Yep.
winches. We've got winches coming out of our ears of home. So there's been many versions of this one. We think it's probably about 4 years. For this comp, we did the, very, very professional.
Is it an electrical box or something?
Yes, the electrical box here, and of course put together with tape and zip ties.
Yeah.
It does the thing.
Yeah.
This is new this year, the polycarb bottom. We actually bent this up thinking it would make it a little bit more tougher, but it actually has made it quite hard to drive.
Oh, no.
So it doesn't drive as well. We think the plyboard that we had before was bendy enough to sort of help manoeuvre it around. It was kind of floppy,
Yeah.
no to drive. And we got fiberglass this time.
Fiberglass.
Modelled over to exercise balls.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can see the rips for,
It's a good
I won't say.
way of doing it. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Good to know about these. Might get to fight you sometime this event. That's cool. Nice machine. The machine is ready for day 2, halfway through the fights. Have the side armors, all that off until I know who I'm going to fight, and then I'll get it all ready. Everything is working. Haven't had to replace anything major. Just the wheels have been shredding, as I'm sure you've seen by now. Original belts, tension is working well. GoPro got some great footage. So just wait until the next opponent.
Starting off day 2, we were matched against Beast, a 2-wheel drive horizontal saw. Historically, Derive has done well against these types of machines as they're fairly easy to pick up, and the Hardox forks are very resistant to those types of discs.
Got Chris here, who's been very helpful in recording a lot of the fights for me, so make sure to thank him if you see him. He's got a machine that he's going to tell us about today.
Yeah, so I'm Chris from Adelaide Robot Combat, and this is Beast. So he's got a good look. Beast, it's got a hardened steel chassis, TPU outer armor to give it a cool rounded shape, TPU and molded urethane rubber wheels. We've got some big DC brushed gear motors for the drive, a brushless motor mounted under this pulley here for the weapon.
Yeah, it looks like old BL Heli stuff.
Yeah, some old stuff in here. Bot bits, brushed speed controls for the drive.
Haven't had any issues today with the machine?
The batteries themselves are too small.
Oh no.
So the batteries themselves are 1.8 amp hours 6S, and in my first fight, right as the fight finished, I went flat.
Just going to lower the throttle, what can you do?
I'm ordering a bigger battery from Miles.
That makes sense. Cool, well best of luck with it.
Thank you.
Drivers, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, fire! Suplexing beast that's stuck on the wall. Oh, and flipping itself down, beast back in. And another suplex. Keeps moving. Not holding back. Derive's had a few problems with its drivetrain at the end of these fights, so we'll see how it holds together if this goes for the... as well, which is quite amazing. There'll be some awesome footage from that GoPro. Beast. Those forks happy to grab onto that. Let's count this down in 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I did. My wheels are a bit shredded though, and I'm worried about that.
Very fun fight. The wheels, they were brand new and now they are almost completely worn out. Alan's already losing chunks. That's one fight, so I technically don't have enough wheels to finish the event, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Pretty good cuts. Aluminium doesn't do much, and yeah, it didn't. Forks, absolutely fine though. No complaints about that. Almost cut through the jaw. Anyhow, but the robot is just functional. So I need to change the wheels yet again. It was a bit of work, but otherwise it's good to go. Looking at the robot, it's missing the clip thing on that chain. That came off during the fight, so I got very lucky there. I have a very unique machine here, maybe the only one of its kind in the world really. A horizontal hammer. What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, I'm from the Adelaide Robot Combat Club. This is Roller Pidgey, and I wanted to do a horizontal hammer because there's nothing really like it. I thought it would have the ability to reach places that other robots couldn't in the Sportsman Featherweight League. Most of the league here is saws and flippers and hammers, vertical hammers. So I thought it would be quite unique. As with anything new, it's having a fair bit of issues, but I've got it running today. And so
How are you doing self-riding? I remember that being interesting, or at least theoretically.
I'm theoretically
Yeah.
self-riding through this arm here. So when it's inverted, this would hit the ground, and then the hammer should be actuated, and it would then lever itself back upright. However, the center of gravity is completely wrong, so it doesn't work.
Cool.
Oh, and then it self-resets.
Easy. An interesting gear drive as well, if you're willing to show that. Is it viewable?
Not really.
Not really? Alright.
Big chunky brushless motor that goes into an off-the-shelf angle grinder, and then that goes into a chain reduction into a big sprocket here. That's also not working great.
Oh, what's the problem with that?
I think it's putting all the force on the tiny little pinion on the brushless motor.
Yep.
And there's just, with the off-the-shelf angle grinder gearbox, there's a lot of alignment issues. Hard to keep it straight. That'll be the next thing to change, but it's worked well enough. 1.5 robot events.
Yeah, fair. You got 3 fights left, and then you got all the time in the world to fix it.
That's right.
2 fights to go. Next up is Martial Arse. This machine is big and flexible. While it is unlikely to do much damage, it is very difficult to turn over and control. When loading into the arena, their smothering actuator was not working, so the match was postponed while we all worked to fix the issue. It ended up being a faulty receiver, and the robot was put into fight.
Let's get this fight underway in 3, 2, 1, fight!
Who knows where Derive is? Up inside, that just come off. Derive was carrying a GoPro camera, that's now off. Marshall has an amazing ability to leap and smother. I'm not quite sure what Derive's doing there.
Now Derive trying to free himself. He does get one free unstick from the wall. We'll pause this fight with 2.5 minutes to go.
This happens a bit sometimes with the axe robots. They just throw their axe down and miss their opponent and get the axe embedded in the floor. I saw that a bit yesterday. Alright, it's out, hopefully not too damaged.
But something to consider now. 3,
2, 1, fight!
So Derive looking a little bit more reserved in its motion around the arena. The Marshall not holding back. Oh, I see tears appearing in the glutes. To Derive.
Derive's got it. Marshall just does these flips and we'll get out.
On the GoPro's off Derive. Marshall, are you able to self-ride? Looks like Marshall's weapon might be jammed there. Halfway through.
Derive out.
1 minute to go.
Hats come on. become a bit one-sided now. Oh, a lot more smoke. Alright, I think we're gonna...
Done. They were done. Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to stop the fire here. It looked like potentially a battery fire. So a bit of a safety protocol here. One take to get the fumes away, and the other is to deal with the fire.
Yeah, so we will give the win on that fight to Derive. Round of applause for Derive.
Bits in there, like.
So that's all that's left of the speed controller.
Yeah, red brick.
Red brick. Oh, the red bricks are flawless.
The problem was, I couldn't tell if it was off.
So it's just stalling?
And it was just ramming against it. I'm sure it was off because it's in the centre, but it must have still been going in one direction. And then I saw the smoke, well, of course that's going to happen.
Yeah. There you go. Fence.
Oh my god.
I lost drive in that last fight, which isn't great. The wheels are fine, the belts are fine, so it must be electrical. As per usual, turn on the bench, everything works fine. Great. I've gone in and disabled absolutely every thermal protection possible, as that's the only thing I can think it could be. So I'll go give it a test drive, and then we have one more fight left in this event.
The final fight for this event is none other than Fang, last year's Sportsman Cup winner and a repeat opponent for Loft. By default, Derive has the same top armour as Loft, which is practically nothing, so the machine will be set up with steel plates as before. Knowing a single grab would likely be both expensive and final, my objective was to stay on the move and not get caught.
Alright, drivers, are you ready? Let's get this fight underway in 3, 2, 1, fight! Now Derive a very fast and nimble robot, but just got to be careful where it tries to attack Fang. It's going to be trying to get round the side, lift and flip Fang. Suplexing Fang into the wall. Smoke coming out of something.
Yeah, it might just be the wheels.
I think it's just the wheels. Derive churning through wheels throughout this entire tournament. Obviously, if you make your wheels softer, you get more grip, but they don't last very long. So Derive going through a set of wheels per fight.
Derive is relatively little compared to its opponent, but very strong, very fast, and it's got hold of Fang. So far, Fang really hasn't really had a chance to get its tooth into Derive.
Yeah, Fang using two drivers here, one to drive and one to actually control the tooth. You got to get the tooth in the right spot and position it correctly. Derive suplexing Fang for the third time in this fight. Fang still looking for an opening.
We're halfway through the fight.
One. Yeah.
It must be like the 5th or 6th time he's done that.
Controlling this fight. Now Fang should be able to use that shape of its crusher to flip itself back on its wheels, back up and over, drive up and under, slamming Fang into the wall.
To go.
Fang just not finding an opening. Derive throwing him all around the arena.
Actually, remarkable the power that Derive has to lift and throw Fang.
The Derive not really able to do any damage to its opponent, but earning points
by controlling the fight
and using its weapon. 30 seconds to go. Fang just needs one bite in the right spot though.
And if you throw a robot on the ground or against the wall enough times, something might break inside. It's a strategy.
Looks like it's going to go to the judges. 10, 9, 8, a judge's decision.
All right, the judges have deliberated. It is unanimous for Derive. Round of applause for Derive.
Taking a look now at a robot I fought a couple times, and now just then, this is Fang. Want to introduce yourselves?
Dan,
Yep.
Steve.
Yeah, cool.
How you going, guys?
Tell us about the machine. What's special about it? It's a pretty big one, really. It's tall.
Yeah, she's all hard ox. It's pretty tough.
Yeah.
It's a pretty simple robot. It's just a car jack and an old cordless drill buried in this side.
Yeah, right.
Bit of hard ox welded up into the shape of the truss.
Okay.
Very simple tech, very basic, but keep it simple, stupid,
Yeah.
right?
Said these wheels lasted you ages, right?
We've got 20 fights out of them now.
20 fights. Are these red wheels with something
Yeah.
screwed on?
Bunnings red wheels, as cheap as you can get.
A little bit of play, but it looks like it's fine. I'm told this is the lowest tech machine I've ever seen, so they're about to prove their claim.
You won't see lower.
Won't see lower. All right.
It's got Tupperware containers,
Tupperware
duct
container.
tape.
Yep.
And a concrete packer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a
Well, who are you competing with, Mark? Maybe for the low tech? Yeah. Phillips screws, just because it's what you have, or?
yeah. 'Cause I'm too lazy to go buy Allen keys.
Fair enough.
I just have them.
One sheet. There you go. I like that. So these covers on the drive motors are pretty cool.
Yeah, Tupperware containers, just cut in half, just to keep the outrunners clear.
Yeah, sweet.
Bane bots, old goldies.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them.
You
Because
can't
they're a
get them
bit
anymore.
before my time.
Yeah, you can't get them
I've
anymore.
got two because I was
So-
given the old obliterator.
They've
So.
never got wear and damage on them from previous robots. They're pretty old.
Yeah, yeah.
These are oldest gearboxes. These are big. We've had these
Yeah.
for over 10 years.
P60s?
Yeah.
There you go, there's your drill drive.
And there's an old Panasonic 18-volt driver. Just going to
cool.
get universal onto a car jack.
There you go. Looks like it works pretty well. What? This is a cool switch. Make that yourself?
Yeah, homemade switch.
There you
You
go.
make them.
No issues with them?
I do the
That's
not what I do, but
in every robot.
I do the CAD for them and we 3D print them now.
Right. Oh, 3D print the switch or everything?
Yeah.
But the original ones were hand milled and all.
It looks
The original ones are
polycarbonate,
better
doesn't
because they
it?
handle heat. The 3D printed ones don't like
They work alright, yeah.
They still hang on.
Where's the battery live? Is that in here?
Yeah, the battery's there.
Yeah, right.
Just run 4S on it.
Yeah,
Before I'm
well, that's
in
all you need. Pumping it too high means it
Well,
doesn't...
I've
Yeah.
got to try and keep this on the ground, right?
Yeah.
Can't go too fast
Yeah.
on the drive. She can't handle it.
So there we have it. That is the entire event done. Now time to pack up and leave. The machine is fine. These wheels are holding up amazingly well. These are the different die. I remember talking about these have a much different die. Wow, the durability difference is incredible. So I clearly added too much dye, or that stuff was causing problems anyway. You get what I'm talking about. I think my wheels might be a brighter orange in the future. Other than that, the machine's pretty warm, but nothing shut down the entire match. It was a bit more pensive than before, but that's just how it goes. Yeah, time to go clean up and hit the pub.
Derive finishes the event 5-1. While technically its worst performance, the machine itself is in excellent condition. As stated, the original goal was to get as close as I could to a zero maintenance combat robot. The wheels are still giving trouble, but after fixing the VESC programming problems, the robot just worked, and worked well. Framing is still as square as it was when it started, I had no wiring issues or electrical problems, and the lifter system needed no mechanical maintenance at all. I'll work on more durable tyres for the future, but otherwise Derive is ready to run for Robot Havoc in Adelaide later in the year. Until next time.